Hey, this is Ramon, editor of Smart Hustle Magazine. Who are you and who do you work for?
I'm Brendan Lowe. I'm the Director of Business Development at Shopify.
Hey, Brendan, good to talk to you today. Tell us a little bit, the whole world knows about Shopify, but the few who don't, that might be under a rock or whatever, what is Shopify? What value do you bring to small business?
Yeah, so Shopify is a commerce platform. We make it really easy for small businesses and entrepreneurs to start a commerce business, largely retail business, people that have physical, shippable goods that are looking to reach customers through a dedicated storefront, through a point-of-sale terminal, or through selling over social channels like Facebook or Pinterest.
Right, and Brendan, a lot of small businesses want to sell online. Not everybody, but there's, zillions, bazillions of small businesses that want to sell online. What are you finding are some of the best practices and tips and advice that they can do? I know that's a big question, but you talk to bazillion small businesses. That's my word, not yours. So give us some tips and advice you're seeing over the years that they're doing well.
Definitely. So for my words, it's over 275,000 businesses.
There we go. All right.
In 150 different countries. And what's cool about that is you actually get to see businesses doing all kinds of different things, largely unconventional ways of growth hacking, really, of finding a way to sell a product, normally something that they're either making or something that they've curated to an audience that is uniquely theirs. It's a branded presence. And so when Shopify started, it was largely with a hosted commerce storefront. And so what that meant was these small businesses were creating a brand for themselves. And what's different is that was an evolution of the historical way of selling, which was on marketplaces, the eBay, Yahoo stores, into a more traditional, this is my storefront, this is my brand, and this is how I do things. In a more unique way, we're finding merchants that are finding immediate success by leveraging platforms that haven't really gone mainstream yet. And so, as early back as 5 years ago, we were finding amazing businesses that were selling on Facebook. Before Facebook really endorsed that commerce was an activity on its platform. Today, that looks a little different. They're using Snapchat in a way people don't think about. They're using, live streaming themselves and video content to the extent that even some of our merchants are hacking Pokemon Go to get people in front of their business. So it's crazy. You're seeing all kinds of different unconventional marketing strategies.
You finding that's the opportunity and challenge for Shopify with these new platforms, some who could build things on their own, but that Shopify doesn't only want to be, and again, these are my words, but Shopify doesn't only want to be there just through Shopify.com, if it makes sense, your storefront, but to enable you to sell anywhere on other platforms. Am I hearing that correct? Is that about right? Or?
Yeah, I think small businesses are faced with a challenge of they need to be where their customers are. And so their customers are actually forcing their hand and requiring that they be present in the ways that they want to interact with the brand. And so while that traditionally meant that I'm going to go to your website and that's where I'm going to spend all my time, today they're going to browse on Pinterest, and they might do it on a phone versus on a desktop, but then they might decide to go home on the couch and on their tablet purchase it through Facebook Messenger. And so all of a sudden you have consumers jumping all over the place in a small business who, if it's owned by a sole proprietor, someone wearing many hats, they don't have time to think about the technology. And so what Shopify does is it puts the tools in the hands of small businesses who have to compete against Amazon, who have to compete against Walmart, and really stand out. And that's what we're trying to do, is really enable them by equipping them with the most modern tools available to small businesses.
Great. And last question, clearly there's a customer service is one big thing for small businesses. Anything else that you're finding that some of your best customers, if you can take the time to thinking time over, of the best customers, what are they doing right? Customer service, I'm guessing, has to be one thing. Anything else that some of the best ones that you can think of are doing to be successful? And by the way, we're on the occasion of the Infusionsoft Small Business Success Forum here in New York City in our beautiful studio, which we'll get to in a minute. But what are some of the things they're doing other than great customer service, what comes to mind?
Yeah, and I think it goes back to being where their customers are. And so actually on the customer service point, as a consumer, I'm expecting answers really quickly to my questions. If I'm talking to a brand and I'm not getting a response, I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm just not patient enough to wait around for an answer. And so one of the more popular things that we've done is enable chat through Facebook Messenger directly through your store. And so if a customer has a question, instead of emailing help at whatever URL or phoning a number that you're not really sure if you want to actually talk to the person because you just have a quick question, you can actually talk to them through Facebook Messenger. And by building up an integration with Facebook Messenger where customers are most of the time, we can actually deliver help to consumers when they want it, where they want it. And that's a really effective strategy.
Awesome. My name is Ramon, editor of Smart Hustle Magazine. This has been Brendan Lowe with Shopify from the Smart Hustle Magazine studios.